Hey, guys. Welcome to the Love Experience Show. I am your host, Ashley J. I am a wife, mother, and relationship coach, and date coach, and therapist. So I come to you guys every week with this wonderful show. Well, this show that I like to believe is a wonderful show. You guys let me know. And we talk with different guests about their love experiences, and today is no different. I have my special guests, Tiffany and Keith Belvin. They are here to share their story about, forgiveness one, two, maybe three times. Okay, so let's hear the story. I met Keith through the master class that I took in the group that I'm part of, MAPS Masterclass, and that's how I met Keith. And today is my first time meeting Tiffany. So, how are you guys doing? You're still muted.
Lord, I'm breaking the Zoom and the rules already. Actually, we're doing good. That's a good thing, right?
Yes. So, you want to tell us about your story? Tell us about your business.
You can start, and then I'll correct you.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Belvin. No, actually, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, author, educator, and what I do as a counselor as well, and who practices dealing with couples, relationships, singles. I work with women, normally between the ages of 35 and 70, because I am a former misogynistic whore. You go, yes, I am a man that was out here in these streets chasing panties. And that's the way I lived my life for quite some time. And it took me getting caught cheating a couple of
Mm.
times and having to figure out what that was going to look like to go forward because my wife wasn't going to have it, and we were able to do that. And so now the reason why I chose women between those ages, because those were the ages that I used to prey upon when I was out here in these streets. Now I try to protect, educate, I try to help heal, and I try to create a way for couples to see themselves. And we've been together, what, 20, going on 21?
It's 21 years.
21
Wow.
years. We've been married going on 14 years. First five was rough. The next
It
year,
wasn't that rough.
for you, I don't know. Well, it wasn't rough because you didn't know that I was out here doing whatever.
Mhm.
And then it got rough. So yeah, the first five was kind of cool. And then that year and a half was rough. Yeah. So yeah, that first five was cool. The next
The
two,
first three was cool.
first three, yeah, it took a while. See, that's the correction. And then we had to figure it out quickly. And then going into the seventh year, we pretty much got everything together. And when everybody's a 7-year itch and folks are going out here to cheat, I'm
Mm.
actually going in the opposite direction. And
Okay.
we got married, and we've been happily married. This is actually my second marriage, so I'm happily divorced and happily married at the same time. And you can be
Okay.
that way. And we are the father and mother of a beautiful 7-year-old, but I am also the father of 6 other children. And so this would be stepmoms, but she doesn't
I
accept
don't
that
like that
title.
term.
What do
Why?
you like?
I I haven't even thought about it with the kids because I refer to the kids as my children.
Okay.
Now, I understand that they have their individual mothers,
And they would have
but
and have had.
in my own family, I have my biological father, but then I also have my father who raised me. I don't refer to him as my stepfather because he was a
Okay.
part of my life since I was 3. So that term step, I really don't embrace
Mm-hmm.
because they're my children.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you had said I have two fathers anyway.
Right.
And you have to clear that up because you say I have two daddies.
Yeah.
They go, really? And they try to be nice. Okay. Okay. She's like, no, it's not that. I have my biological father and I have the father that raised me. But when you say I got two daddies, they go, but yes, so we acted out in our relationship a lot of the things that we saw acted out to the positive. A lot of the things that we saw coming up in dysfunctional homes. Myself coming from a dysfunctional family, my wife coming from a dysfunctional
Mhm.
family. We just found that it was
Mm.
just easy to try to be different to a degree, and that's how we got here. And yeah, we had to go through a lot to get to the point. But once we decided marriage was where we were going to go, we had to put all that behind us. And that's also why pre-COVID, we would go out and speak to different, well, we've been invited a lot of places to speak, simply because couples want to know, one, how was I able to change? Two, they didn't look at her and go, how'd you get him to change? Three, it's like, y'all seem so happy with each other. How did y'all get there? And so we share that with folks. And now post-COVID, one of the things that we're working on is an actual cohort to teach people what marriage can look like, how cool marriage can really be. And it's actually called Making Marriage Cool Again. And we put it on the burner for so long. We had actually created it 10, 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 10, 11 years ago, but we never acted on it simply because we were always stretched out in a lot of different things. I've written 5 books. We own a publishing company, and my wife does the typesetting for all the books. She edits college papers, and we just didn't focus on that. But now, where we are now, it is something that, because I'm counseling and I went back to school to get my second master's degree, which I would not have if it wasn't for, actually, I wouldn't have either master's degree.
I was about to correct you about that. I helped him with 2
I got it.
master's degrees.
They're back there on the wall. Yes, you can see them. So I say all the time, our master's degrees, even though my name is on them. But just in case if she try to leave, the degree stay home. So what happens is, because what it is that what makes us a great team is that I think. No.
What?
You see, I corrected my. I got it. Can I get this?
I just sit here and look pretty.
Could I get this? I do a lot of the things that I think, but my wife will correct how I think, because a lot of times, because I'm moving at such a fast pace, I will write a paper based on what's in here.
Okay.
My wife then has to ungarble it to go, that's not master's level.
Please do.
I have to share.
Hold on a second. Share what?
When Keith was on his first master's degree.
Oh, no.
It was around when we first started dating. And he was feeling some trepidation because he had turned in his first assignment and he didn't do so well.
Yeah, we were 3 years in. It was, yeah.
We weren't 3 years
I started school 2003.
Really?
Yeah, 3 years in.
Okay. So I said, well, send it to me. Let me look at it. And because my mom was also studying for her master's degree in education at the same time he was. So I was helping her, and I said, well, send me your paper.
And I was teaching.
Yeah, they both were teaching. Yes. So I said, send me your paper. Let me look at it. So he sent it to me, and I looked at it, and I said, this is not what you handed it to the professor,
no,
right?
You said you didn't send this to the professor, right? you said this is the draft, right? You didn't send this. And I'm sitting there. I was like, yes, I sent it in, and yes, he graded it, and he killed it. She said, Keith.
So I said to him, don't ever send another paper without me looking at it.
Yes.
And he received A's from then on.
Yes, every other paper. Actually, the professor actually said, you might want to consider tutoring, or grad school is not for you. And I was like, I'm teaching. I was teacher of the year. What? I really was. I was the PTA teacher of the year. But okay. My wife is like, she's like, you cannot write the way you talk. And she's like, it's all over the place. So then she cleaned it up from there. I trusted her. But this is where men are stupid. And I will say that. Any men watching, I apologize, fellas, but you know we're stupid. When I went back, so that was 03 to 05. I graduated 4.0. I didn't get anything less than an A in every class. Okay. So that was 05. I went back to grad school in 2016. And the first 2 classes, I called myself, I was arrogant because I'd already got the 4.0 with the other degree. I don't need my wife for this. I got this. I know what it is. So I'm struggling and I am just doing horribly. And my wife is just sitting there like, are you going to ask me with the paper? I said, no, I don't need your help. I'm good. I got this. And I was like, she ain't say nothing. Now at the end of the second class, I got 2 C's. And in grad school, anybody that knows, and actually, you know, 2 C's, you're on your way up out the program because it's all B's or nothing. Yeah. So I got a letter from the professor, and he was like, you know, your papers have some good ideas, but you're just all over the place. I would advise you to get somebody to help you write. I was like, so it was like, I turned to the wife and she was looking like, yes. And I was like, honey, I need your help. And again, from there, I never got a bad grade on the paperwork. And then what we realized from then, because my wife is already working on other people's favorites, we started to make that a service that we offered on our publishing website if people needed work. And so my wife has actually worked on doctorate papers, other people's graduate work, and she has not gotten a bad review, or not one paper that you have worked on has gotten less than an A that I know of.
Wow.
And so one of the things that I laugh at is when people say about, the degrees of the alphabet behind your name, as I say it, it's one thing to have it, but there's a lot of people who do not have that alphabet who are as incredible as anything. Now, I do get on my wife because she does have this gifted ability to arrange words that she should have written books by now, but that's her own.
The books are here. They just, I can't get them on paper.
Yeah. And so Ashley will understand what I'm about to say. My wife is a high turtle.
Okay.
Which means if you've ever taken a DIST exam, guys, my wife is a high thinker, above the chart. And I am a high I, which means I am a high people person. I don't know if you can tell that, but we balance each other out because we balance that out. But the problem is the go-getter part, the lion part, we both kind of, in private, my lion is great. But sometimes in public, I get bored and be like, I'm not doing it. My wife in public is somewhat the same way. So in things that she really should just go and grasp, she doesn't, but she thinks at a very high level. So I've been working to get her to understand that it's not good enough in here if other people can't experience it, because then you don't get to help anybody. And we're actually withholding God's gift when we do that. So that is something that we talk about that now we're in the process of doing, and why we're going back to like the cohort that I was talking about. And what I mentioned is the cohort is designed, it's actually in 3 phases that we're putting the ideas together, but we're taking our time with this one simply because we want to do it right. One of the cohorts is with my wife, where she's going to explain what that looks like in trying to restore yourself when you've been hurt because of someone like me. Then my cohort is what that looks like when trying to get through, trying to transform from being the cheater, being the whore, being whatever you were, to being somebody who wants to be somebody's husband. And then to make a marriage cool again is the actual way we show you the steps that make marriage cool for us. Now, there's tons of marriage courses out there, but what they don't have is us.
Right.
Because when we tell you, don't play hide the booty, you won't find that.
No.
And nobody, no, I defy you to go get the book right now and show me where it say, don't play hide the booty. You'd be like, what kind of course is this? Married folks know exactly what I'm talking about, because I will prove to you it's in the Bible, because the Bible says, don't let the sun rest with discord. And it also says, don't defile the marital bed.
Right.
So married couples, women and men, will get mad, but you get none.
Yep.
No, you don't hide the booty. You don't know. You don't now. I'm not going to make love to my spouse because I'm angry. Work out whatever's wrong.
I can't even imagine that. I'm just saying.
I wish you would just put eyes and booty around. Yeah, we ain't talking about it. Anyway, it's hard for you to keep up with an old man like me anyway. So I'm just saying. Ron Isley, yeah, I got you, Ron. But anyway, I'm saying, you see, she ain't comment though. Check it down, y'all. And I'm the older one. She's almost 10 years younger, so I got to stay on my game. She can leave me tomorrow, so I got to stay ahead. Yeah. So y'all understand. Anyway, we're gonna keep it G. But I'm just saying, the reason why that's important is because we don't see that as an issue. Because why? That actually can help solve the problem. Because it's very hard to be angry with your spouse and then be intimate.
Right.
So a lot of that you'll probably want to work out before you're intimate, because it won't feel the right way, which is when you look at it, the way the Bible actually tells you to play it out anyway. And just little things. And there's always the things that are standard in any marriage course or book is communication, but it's just ways that we express it, as well as you get to see us in what we do. Because the one thing that my wife and I have learned, and why it took us a long time to get here, we understand our roles. Like you see, I am the people person. So yeah, I do a lot more of the chirping. But my wife, I didn't say you weren't. I said I'm more of. Listen, listening is a quality skill.
Tiffany, you about to get your time to shine. Don't worry.
So, but no,
you see, my husband talks a lot.
It's all right, because she'll put me in my place.
Actually, what attracted me to him is his conversation and the ability to hold a conversation about different topics. And I tell people all the time, my husband can command an audience in a bathroom stall. And
except I didn't know how to just do it with one woman. It was just all of y'all come on over here. All 30 of y'all, I'll find a way to talk all this. You know? But it was sad. That was true though. No, but so yeah, my wife rocks out. And actually, I know what my wife is. So a lot of times I will push her forward. She actually likes playing the background. Sometimes people go, he do all the talking. It's because I already know she doesn't mind that. She actually likes me to be out front. But when she speaks, it's poignant. It's something to it. That's the thinker part. And so what we do in sharing that is because we wanted to make sure, and I think that's where like working with our business coach has really come in, is I didn't know how to create the system that I thought would work. So in coming through MAPS, and I originally started MAPS and then moving to the other business community, now that I see how the system can work, I now have a blueprint that the two of us can sit down and say, okay, how will we do this? How will we work this? And how will we present it? And the biggest thing is, how do we then manage it? Because now when you've asked people to come and you've helped them or uncovered problems, how do you now help them with those problems? Well, that's where I come in as the counselor. And as a Christian counselor, it's something that I've always wanted to do because I believe that the church is dropping the ball. Yes, we have Christian counseling. Yes, we have Christian services. But I don't think people are being as real as they should be. So folks can't feel as comfortable giving up their real dirt. Yeah, people will stand up and go, I've had some indiscretions with my wife. Okay. But you ain't gonna talk about how you peeping Sister Jackson and Sister Teresa and how you struggle with that with your wife sitting right next to you. I'm gonna talk about that because most people aren't comfortable hearing it. Right. It's not that they don't want to share, it's that they don't share because they know they're going to be judged, which church should be the last place. So it then filters, say they go up to the altar, they get their blessing, and then they take the burden right back.
Yep. That's true.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, just check.
So Tiffany, let's take a beat for a second. Tiffany, tell us how you were able to forgive more than once and heal.
Okay. Prayer. So the interesting thing about it is we were together about 3 years before I found out the first time. Okay. And I found out nearly by accident. And I say it was divine intervention.
So the Lord told him.
I tell people, us being together, I believe, was divine intervention because when we first met in college, I was 19. You were coming back to school.
Yeah, I was 28 and I just returned.
And he was helping the girls basketball team, the women's basketball team. And I actually had 2 friends on the team. And I would come watch them play. And that's how we met. We went on our first date. And again, conversation is what attracted me to him. And somewhere the date went well, but somewhere along the line, I just got this feeling. And I asked him, are you married? I didn't even ask him, did he have a girlfriend? I said, are you married? He didn't have a ring on or anything. And he, as cocky as he was, said, yeah, I'm married. But you know, things not working out. He's going through something. Okay. And at that point, I started avoiding him on campus.
Okay.
Coming to the gym. It was 5 years later that we started dating. So, and even then, I asked him.
Now you just glossed over.
Yes.
A very big part.
What's the big part?
Was the night that we reconnected.
Yes, I'm sorry. So the night that we reconnected, and again, divine intervention, I was coming home late, which wasn't my normal time to come home. I was on the bus and I was hungry. So the store, the Chinese restaurant, was a good distance away from where I live. And I had left my credit card at home. And I didn't want to go home and come back. So I'm digging in my bag, looking for change in order to go to the Chinese restaurant. At that time, what, chicken wings and French fries was $2.
That's it.
I literally
in New York, by the way. I don't want everybody going to China.
Okay.
Yeah, in the hood.
Okay.
In the hood, $2 gets your meal. I'm just saying. There you go.
Hot sauce.
So
There it is right there.
I was able to dig in my bag and get exactly, it was exactly $2 in change in the bottom of my bag. So I
Wow.
got off the bus, went to the Chinese restaurant, got my food. Now I'm walking towards the house and I hear, "Why are you looking so mean?" And I rolled my eyes. I didn't even look in the direction, rolled my eyes and kept walking. And I hear, "Oh, I know you." I said, "Who is this sorry person with these tired lines?" And it was him.
I'm saying the Barry White was in effect. The Barry White was like, man, sorry, line. I was being nice.
So it was funny. He offered to drive me home. So we talked for a while outside the house. And I asked him, "Are you still married?" And then at this point, he was no longer with his wife. He
I
had
came
moved,
back home,
he
yeah, lived with
had
my
moved in with
grandmother,
his parents.
Mhm.
And I
which
said,
was right down the block. Actually, it was
5 blocks away.
yeah,
We
it was
lived
like
5 blocks
yeah.
away from each
Wow.
other.
Mhm.
Wow.
And he gave me his number and he said, "I know you're gonna wait like the average woman 3 days in order to call me, but here you go. I'm not gonna ask you for your number." So he also gave me his email address. I went in the house, I logged on.
Take note, fellas. Take notes. Take notes. I don't need you to call me. Here's my contact when you're ready.
And this is back when they were still referring to it as the World Wide Web. So
Okay.
that's how long it was. And went on my email, sent him an email with my number and said, "I'm not the average woman."
That's true.
And we've been together ever since. So
Wow.
of course,
And that night, see, I let my wife tell the story. Anyway, no, that night actually, we found out later. My wife had prayed to God, "Please send me somebody who loves me." And I had prayed because I was coming from the track at the time, and I was actually heading to the store. I had prayed that night, "Lord, just send me somebody who understands me. I'm not even shooting for love. I already messed up with my marriage." I had asked for somebody to understand me. She had asked for somebody who loves her. And then in hindsight, when Tiff said she believes it was divine intervention, yes, because those were the two things that held us down from that point going forward with a lot of the things that we faced, whether pre-marriage and then after being married, just little things that we've had to deal with our daughter or just with our business. And that understanding and that love was needed, and it actually held things together. So it was very important.
so the first 3 years was perfect. If I couldn't complain, he was a perfect gentleman. He did the cutest things sometimes, from making homemade cards to making me my favorite dinner. And just so just
Take care home. I was just saying, take care home.
so to find out that he cheated, it was very hurtful.
Mm.
And
How'd you find out?
that was divine intervention again. It was completely by accident. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was checking my emails and someone sent me a joke that I said, "Oh, this is funny. Let me send it to Kitty." So I forwarded it, and then a pop-up came up with the subject of the joke that I had just sent. And I said, "Did I just send a joke to myself?" Because sometimes you quickly click on something.
Yeah.
And I clicked on the pop-up and it was his email. So being nosy, not in the sense that I was really looking for something, that I thought I was going to find something.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
can't be nosy and say I wasn't trying to find something. That's an oxymoron.
I
at best.
wasn't. I was.
I know what you mean.
Thank you.
I guess
See?
it's a woman thing. Okay.
It
All right. Okay.
And I came across a very suspect email.
Mhm.
And at that point,
Very.
I read a little bit more, read more emails between them, and I said, "Wow, he's cheating on me." And when I tell you, it was the scariest thing for me, because I never knew that you could have no feelings, like no emotions about something. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting there like, "Okay, feel something. Are you about to lose your mind? Feel something." And I didn't. And it's funny because I laid next to him the entire rest of the night, did not go to sleep. Alarm clock rang. And he usually drives me to the train station. He goes to work because his job was up the street from the train
Yeah,
station.
the school that I was teaching at.
And just as we were getting to the train station,
You gonna learn to stop letting out the good parts. Tell her what you did.
what? Oh, I forgot that part. Sorry.
Now, when y'all hear this part, y'all gonna be like, "How you forget that?" Watch. So you laid all night,
Yes.
watched, got up in the morning,
The
and what
alarm-
happened in the morning?
The alarm clock rang.
Well, I got up in the morning. What happened?
Yes. And I made good love to my husband Good luck.
Set up love,
Yes.
by the way.
So, and he wasn't my husband at the time. I just want to say that. So,
Yes, ma'am. What happened? You cut yourself? All right, go ahead and have a seat. We'll take care of it. Go ahead. Y'all tell y'all know it's real. I'm sorry.
sorry.
7 years old. I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
get on camera. She's like, I'm getting on camera.
It is okay.
Get it with the thumb ready. She's like, look.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I saw it was a little scared. She was all right. She just wanted to see what was going on film. It's okay.
So, made good love to my husband. He goes in the shower. He's singing and everything.
Set
He's
up,
happy.
happy.
Set up.
So, get in
Set
the
up.
car. He drives me to the train station. On the way to the train station, I turn down the music. He just happy singing along. I
Set up.
said, "How long have you been cheating on me?"
Ooh. Ooh.
And he's like, "Huh?"
And like every cheater, I'm not admitting to nothing.
Nothing.
I ain't show no, I ain't no proof yet.
We
What you
call
talking
it
about?
his Bill Clinton moment.
Okay.
And he would not admit it. I said,
Nope.
"Please don't insult me because obviously I know. Let's talk. How long have you been cheating on me?"
I was like, I have no idea what you're talking. I said, come on, baby, stop playing. Ain't
So
nobody
then-
cheating on you.
I said, "Well,
That didn't work.
who's such and such, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
why
we're
she
not gonna
happy
say her
she's
name.
not pregnant?" So at this point, he
I wanted to wreck the car. I kind of wanted to drive into the little.
I was going to ask that, did you come to a sudden stop or?
Let me. All right, for the fellas that's watching, and for the ladies that's like, yeah, girl, yeah, calm down. 'Cause yes, it is a yeah, girl moment. Because I was like, inside, you're like, oh, damn. When somebody has the name of the person, see, up until it was why you cheating on me, I'm thinking she don't really know who, so I don't know which one. So I'm like, I'm not saying nothing. But when she said why this person and why are they not pregnant, I'm thinking she saw that email. But I'm a smooth criminal. I'm like,
So you thought.
I saw it. So I thought, thank you. I was like, that's just a friend. I went out like a sucker because at that point I had no mental. There was no mental gymnastics that I could play. There was nothing in the bag. It was empty. And the only thing I thought about, if I just kill us right now,
pulled the ace out.
they'll never know. Like, yeah, it was like spades. I'm done. She got all the spades. I ain't got nothing. I was like, but if I turn this car into this basin, just hit this guardrail, we go over. I got a seatbelt on. You never know. But I was like, no. Literally at that point, I did like most men did. I was kind of begging.
Okay.
And she wouldn't say a word to me. She wouldn't say nothing. And she did it smoothly too. She
Okay.
waited till we was about 3 minutes from the train station, which is right up the block from my school. And then she was like, and when you get to my house today, come get all your stuff. I don't have nothing to do with you. And I was
told
like,
him, when I get home, I don't want you there. Leave my keys with my mother.
I was shook up. Because at that point, one, I had never gotten caught like that. Two, like most men, you don't realize it until now it's right there in your face. Now it's, oh man. And I remember when I drove down the block, I was so shook up. When I walked into the school, the assistant principal was like, Mr. B, you all right? I was like, nah. I was like, nah, I was in a bad way. And she said, tell you what, take the first 3 periods off. I'll rearrange your schedule. I was like, thank you. And my classroom was down in the basement. So my partner, my road dog, my man who know where all the bodies is, who out there just running the streets with me, he came downstairs. When he saw the look on my face, he said, dude, what's wrong? I was like, and I explained it to him. And this is when you know a man is really messed up. When his road dog sitting there at the desk said, damn, bro, I'm sorry, man. Like he did something like we got caught. He was just like, he was saying, and he, even to this day, he said, I'd never seen you like that, big dog. I didn't know what to do, man. and you would think that would be enough, but honestly, no. And one of the things that I explain to a lot of the men and women when I'm working with women is because you catch him and because y'all seem to work it out and he seems different, it is because of the fear of losing you or the fear of what his life is going to be like without you, because he didn't think that far, because most men don't when they're cheating. They don't, and it's not about you, woman. And actually my wife can tell you, because
I say that all the time, because too often as women, and I've seen that from young, very young, growing up with family members, we make it about us.
Yeah.
The woman who is being cheated on, she makes it about her. Well, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? The woman who is the mistress makes it about her. Oh, he likes me better. I'm doing better for him. It's not about either one of you. It's about him.
Right.
Put the accountability on him and take it away from yourself. Because if he's going to cheat, then it's something that he's not coming to you with that y'all probably need to discuss.
And it doesn't mean that there's anything lacking in the relationship, because there wasn't. As Tiff told you, our 3 years was fantastic because one of the things that I had learned, take care of home, meaning make sure the wife is straight, because then she won't stress when you go out. Also, I had it in the back of my mind. I don't care where I was and what woman I was
But
with.
I didn't stress anyway
No, you
because
wasn't.
I see you as an adult.
Mhm.
So, like when I hear women say, "I don't allow my man to,"
We
I'm
laugh
like,
at
what
that.
do you mean you don't
Allow.
allow?
We say that all the time. Allow, like you say, your wife let you. Let me. I'm a
Right.
Your
grown
husband
man.
let you.
But
Right.
it's what it is that it's such that I was taught take care of home, because then if the wife doesn't check on you, it makes it easier to cheat. So I was already groomed to cheat because I didn't have any men around me. I grew up in a house full of women. And so I got to hear every side, from the nasty aunt to whatever. And because, and I put it in my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, I talk about the fact that I started my sexual thing at age 12.
Okay.
And by age 14 or 15, I was with a woman 40, and she invited her girlfriend who's 50. And what that does, with a lot of men don't talk about, that I do when I counsel, when I'm out, is that molestation of the mind. You didn't hurt my body. Actually, I had fun, and the women had fun because I'm a young man that is going to do what they asked me to do. The molestation of the mind is because now you've armed a 15-year-old boy with information he's not supposed to have from grown women. You've now left 15, 16, 17-year-old women defenseless against him. What can they do? If I know how to please a 40 and 50-year-old woman, and that's what it was. She went and got her girlfriend and said, show up. He seems to really, okay. Now, when I'm with little girls, what are they going to do? So now I'm messing up little girls' mind because the men in the street are saying, protect them, love them, take care of them, is like, yo, bro, do what you can do, get with as many as you want. Well, that starts to become your model. That starts to become the thing. So you don't know how to function in a relationship. And also, coming from a dysfunctional family, I never seen an actual good relationship work. So then where was I supposed to get that knowledge from? And the very last time is the critical time, because now I'm in a state of free fall over those years, because it wasn't about her. It was about me not dealing with me and trying to keep a healthy relationship at home while still trying to be this dude out in the streets. And now when Tiff and I talk, she would say, I seen that you were going through something, but whatever it was, you needed to go through it because I couldn't fix it and I wasn't going to try. That's another thing I would advise any woman out there. Don't try to fix a man. And men, don't try to fix a woman. Be part of the healing, yes. But you can't fix anybody. And actually, I'm sure you know, you can't fix anybody until one, they want to get fixed. Two, they're willing to accept the healing that's going to come. You don't go in the doctor's office and say, I'm sick, and then tell the doctor how to heal you. You tell the doctor you're sick, and then you get out his way and let him do or her do what they do.
Right.
That last time, all the things that was troubling me were all internal. I had the master's degree. I had the brand new Jeep. I have the gorgeous wife at home. I'm teaching, and I'm an outstanding educator. And I'm not saying that in a vain way. I am. I can teach anybody, anytime, and I love to teach. Loved. I'm happily retired. So why am I so unhappy? Because I never dealt with things internally. Because most men weren't taught how. Most women weren't taught how to go in there, get the pain, and not absorb it. They're taught most of the time, go in, get that pain, hold on to it. So you got women dying from pains that's not even theirs, because a lot of their mothers and grandmothers taught them that. Don't knock on the moms and grandmothers, because I love mine and pray I wish I could have them both back. The pain is supposed to be brought out, not transferred. Brought out and then dealt with and then squashed and gone. Now the two of you can heal. You can't heal if I take the pain from me and I give it to you. Right. It didn't go anywhere. It just transfers. So now she's in pain and I'm sitting around and now I'm wondering why she's the way she is. No, it doesn't work. So that last time I had got caught cheating the third time. I snuck and read Tiff's diary and it said, I love Keith to death, but I can't keep doing this. I'm done. I can't. And that was the day I remember sitting on the edge of the bed. I done pushed a good woman to a bad place. And I realized, and just something inside me, and again, for you guys that are not connected to the faith, you might want to just say, do I really want to hear this right now? Because we got to go to church.
Okay.
The Holy Spirit at that time really convicted me, because it was like, what are you doing? And that fight that you have internally doesn't start there. You've been having that fight for a minute. And anybody watching this that tell me they haven't, you're lying. Because anytime that you're troubled between something that you know you're doing wrong and you're hurting someone that you really care about and they don't know, you call it guilt, but it's really the Holy Spirit going, so how long are you going to keep doing him dirty? How long are you going to keep doing her dirty? And many of us tell somebody who's as nasty as we are because we want them to hold some of that burden, because holding it ourselves, we probably drink ourselves under the table.
Right.
And she went to the beach, and she likes to go to the beach, and I ain't going because I don't like American beaches. Give me the Caribbean and anywhere else I'll go, but dirty American beaches, I'm not going. But I knew that when she came back, it was over. I knew. I could just tell where we were in the relationship. I could tell how we was inside the house. I'm staying up all night on the computer. She's pretty much going to bed without talking to me. And I knew we had really reached that point. I knew that the candle was pretty much done. So when she got there, I said, I'm going to save her some trouble. I had already said, I'm going to go. I could always come get myself, because I had already been through this with my ex-wife. When I got to the door, that same voice said to me, if you leave now, you ain't never going to find another woman like that. And I sat there and I thought about it. And I turned around and said, I don't want to go. And the way our bedroom was situated, she could see the door from our bed, and she was sitting right where like the door was. I'm like, so you just gonna watch me leave? No. Get out. So I turned and said, I don't want to go. And she's like, I don't want you to go. And I came back and I sat down. She said, but we can't keep this like this. And then she says something I never heard a woman say to me, and I guess some men can attest for themselves. She was like, you need to let me know what's going on in here so I can help you. And I was like, you don't want to know what goes on inside my head. It's crazy. I'm crazy sometimes. She said, no. How am I to protect you from yourself if you don't let me in? And I realized at that moment, she's asking to handle the pain or whatever's going on inside, but she wasn't asking to pull it into herself. She was asking me to put it out so we can deal with it. And then she hit me with one of the smoothest and coldest lines in the book. It's either going to be me and God or the whores in the street. Make your choice. No, think about it. No, make your choice. And I was sitting there like, the fact that I was even debating this should tell you something was wrong with me.
Right.
And that was the night, that I realized that if I'm going to be this and if we're going to do this, but that was the night the change started. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and say that night, hey, magically everything was happy. No, that was the night I chose a different path. And many of us that are on whatever path we're on keep going back and forth. We'll go down one path, come back to the same crossroad, go down another. That was the night I knew that if I'm going to go in this direction, I can't go back in that direction any longer. And it took us 1.5 years. That was early 06. And then by August of 07 is when we got married. And we put all that behind us. And there's been no going back to it. There's been no nothing. And it has been bliss. It is what God intended. Yeah, it's been some rough times. We know when we've had a couple of years here and there that was, and not with us. Yeah, not get on each other's no, not get on each other's no, not like that. But I mean, it's the regular. We annoy each other. Yeah, but we don't let it. We don't have real arguments, and we don't let things go more than a day, because the relationship is bigger than the problem. And so we're not going to mess up the relationship because of a problem. And the funny thing is, whenever one of us is wrong, like if I'm wrong, I'll sit in here in the office, try to figure out a way to get back in, and then I might come in and rub her feet. If she's wrong, she'll stay in the bedroom, wait, and then she'll come to the door and she'll kiss me on my forehead and be like, you hungry? Or good night, I'm going to bed. I'm like, you ain't had to come all the way out the bedroom to come in here and kiss me on my forehead and tell me you're going back to the bedroom. But I get it, and it's okay, because I'm not going to now gloat and be like, yeah, no, it's okay, cool. And that's the I'm sorry. And then at that point, the intimacy comes. So, but that's actually how it's supposed to be. And so that's what we do. And that's what keeps us strong and solid.
Yeah, that's good. You guys said some good things, and a couple things that you said really aligns with what I teach. You know, I taught at one time, I think it was sometime in last summer, I was talking about cheating, and I kind of touched on, you know, it's something with them, and all it I almost got cussed out. They were not very receptive of what I was saying, but it was something that needed to be said because not everybody talks about that.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
everybody goes into that type of detail. And even taking on even the pain aspect of it, taking on somebody else's pain. I want to say, because we're women, because we bear children, we tend to do that because that's the nurturing side of us.
Amen.
We tend to, okay, let me make it better. Like my son, he'll, I don't know, bump his head or something, and he'll be like, "Mommy, boo boo, kiss it." Like, okay, let me make it better.
That's it.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
So to learn a different behavior when it comes to our most intimate relationship, it can be hard for some women. It's something that a lot of us don't know how to do. We don't know how to let go of his pain. You want to help him, you want to take care of it, but you can't hold on to it.
Amen.
And
That
that was
is
something that I struggled with in the beginning of my relationship with my husband. The pain that he was going through, I was holding on to it. And it made me dislike a certain person. It made me, it just fed into the already not so good opinion that I had of this person.
Yep.
And
Yes.
I had to realize, you know what? I got to let that go because I'm not giving her a chance to show who she really is.
Yeah.
I'm not giving her a chance for us to try to develop a relationship. I got to let this go.
Amen. Yeah.
And I held on to that up until maybe 3 years ago. And I
That's it.
finally let it go then.
It's tough. It's
It's
tough.
tough.
It's tough.
It
And
really
it's the
is.
honest part. I love that you said I had to realize it. And that's what I meant about can nobody fix you but you. Tiff and I can't fix anyone. We can offer our experiences. We can offer our intellect, our knowledge, everything. But in the end, it comes down to, are you willing to take that step? One of the things that I say in my counseling sessions, I give the visual of, I want you to imagine a mountain, and I want us to both look up that mountain. Whatever we put at the goal at the top, we're going to agree on that. But you're going to carry the rock. I can't carry it for you, but here's what I can do. I can travel with you as you travel this mountain with this rock. Now I can step in with these big shoulders and hold it. Sometimes you got to run to the bathroom, get something to eat, but when you come back, you get it back. But here's the guarantee, and I don't make many guarantees. I can guarantee that as you go up that mountain, that rock gets smaller. And that's it. Everything else is going to come down to you. Now, if you go backwards, that rock grows bigger. And I'll still be there, but it's still going to be on you. So whatever you want to do, if you show up, I show up, we'll tackle that rock. But at the end, I don't care if I'm working with women, children, or men, or couples. It's the same thing, because you have to carry your burden, and then you have to decide how you're going. That's why if you listen to scripture, when it says lay down your burden, most people don't know how to do that because they're fearful, because after a while, the burden becomes a part of them.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't know how to function after you lay it down.
Yeah, because you know what it is? Because one, fear. You're not sure what that's going to be without it. Two, you feel vulnerable like any wound. What if the next person does the same thing? Because am I really over it? But either way, this is where scripture plays the biggest role. When Jesus says, lay down your burden and take on my yoke is easy. What he's saying is, when you come to the word, I'll comfort you. If nothing else, and God says all the time, don't trust man, don't trust women, trust me. Because the same word you read, the same word I read is going to say and have the same meaning from the same God that we pray to. That's why when people start arguing about the Bible, I laugh and go, does it matter if we get the same effect from it? I don't care if a white man wrote it, a black man, I don't care who wrote it. In the end, I believe it's God breathed, because it affects people in too many ways to be written by one person. And if all these men that you say wrote it, how come they didn't go on to write a whole slew of books and make millions and trillions of dollars? To stop.
Exactly. Exactly.
So there you go.
That was so good. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and send them now. I'll read a couple of them. I guess everybody was so engrossed in the story. We don't have a whole lot of comments right now, but they will come in soon.
You'll get one and be like, girl, I would have cut it loose. And you know what? You would have, because I wasn't designed for you.
Yep.
We say all the time is what works. And that's one thing we got to say this. I want to give this disclaimer. What worked for Tiff and I does not mean it'll work for anybody else.
That's right.
And it doesn't mean that God loves you any less. You may not be with the right person. I knew I was with the right person because I told Tiff back in 1995, yo, that's my little diamond in the rough. Someday me and you gonna be together. Then you can go wherever you want. I'm gonna get you. Now I ain't saying in a stalker way. That sounds a little creepy, but especially when you're 10 years older and you like, you're this nasty old man. But I knew then, and I said that to a friend. I said, yo, me and Tiff, and the crazy thing is, I when I introduced myself to her, I was insulting her. And I was like, you know, you kind of cute, but why you walking around the school like a bum? You poor?
Why was I poor? And why was I poor? Go ahead, explain.
Because she said, I own a house. And I was like, I said, how old are you? She said, 19. I said, you don't own a house. She said, no, I own a house. And I take all of my money from work and put it into my house. I was like, so that's why you walk around here like a bum? I said, because you know, we clean you up.
That's exactly what he said. If we clean you up.
You look real good around here.
He trying to kick it. Talk about if we clean you up.
I was arrogant. I was ultra arrogant in college.
Oh my! I would have been like, let me tell you something.
Thank you. Exactly. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was on arrogance on steroids. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's it.
Somebody talked to me like that before, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave you standing where you are. You can talk to me.
Exactly. But we say that because some people will automatically say, well, if they could make it, we can make it. No. And I'm going to tell you why social media has made that worse.
Yes.
Because now you see all these couples that you start to compare yourself to,
Yes.
and you actually forget who you are. They called us at one point the Obamas of the hood because of the way we carried ourselves. It was cute, but at the end of the day, what we realize is that that's how they see Michelle and Barack. You don't even know them. You don't know Jada and Will. You don't know any of the couples. You don't know and what's the word, Russell and Sierra. Yeah. You don't know any of these folks. You know what they show you. And anybody that's in business knows you can pay a branding person to make you look anyway. So that's why when you hear about the divorce or you hear about the separations or you hear about the babies that pop up somewhere else, and you go, oh my God, how could he do that to her? Because you don't know what they had. So I don't trouble myself with it. What we do is just simply be us. And the one thing that I can tell you, and my wife will back me up, when we're out, we're the same way. And people literally, when we're at book events and other places, will literally come over and go, how long y'all been married? I think we've 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We're not even married yet. And we're like this now, we're still the same way. Like when we're together, yeah, I'm gonna always be the life of the party type thing. But when you can see what we have, it's not something that we gotta hide. The love is real, and it draws people in. And then
I remember we were at an event and someone came over. They said, "You've been laughing all day with each other." And even one of our friends, when we used to bowl, unfortunately he passed away. He said to us one time, he said, "Y'all must don't have nothing to talk about at home because y'all always talking."
We don't need y'all. We got each other. That's why you sitting there. That's why you so why you bowling, because you ain't got no woman. You see, I'm quite happy. No, but that is it's funny because what I realized, we do everything together. We bowl together, we travel together. And before we had our daughter, we was on the road all the time. And of course, the last 7 years, it's been about her. And even when all three of us go out, you know, it's all about the three of us. My daughter has not spent, she's only been babysat overnight in 2 different people's homes, my aunt and my wife's friend. That's it. We don't even trust our daughter, no, because there's just, you may not even understand her passion about herself. Because I've heard people say, well, she talks too much. Have you met her dad?
Right.
like her dad.
And then she's like, well, she's so intelligent. And here's the thing with Black folks, which aggravates me. An intelligent Black child will say, why are you acting that way? Or you're acting too good. Or why? You should be excited that a child of color speaks with such fervor and command of the language. First of all, her dad is an educated man, and so is her mother. So you would not say that about a child that does not look like her. But the minute that a child of color speaks with a use of the language upon her age level, instead of celebrate that, you almost go, mind your place. Well, that's the problem with a lot of us, is that place is so low that you're not used to somebody who refuses to be there. We know better than anybody else, and we don't try to be. We're as hood, and we don't complain about nothing. I'm sorry, where are you from?
Me?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh,
With Brooklyn, but no, where in Brooklyn?
Brownsville.
Where in Brownsville? Howard Houses? Those are projects, correct?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Just a second. Actually, I'm laughing. I'm from
that was
40.
just geography.
Yeah. Actually, that's true, because Tiff, you would never know Tiff lived in a project. It was like, what kind of project chick are you? And actually, I'm from 40 projects in South Jamaica, Queens, and you would never think that we're like two project kids, but it's like my mother was kind of like her mother in this aspect. The project is where we live. The project is not how we think. And my mother didn't have the education. My grandmother didn't have the education, but what they wanted was for me to have it. So they pushed and pushed. I was the first to get the degree. And that was the associate's degree, then the bachelor's degree, then the master's degree, then the second one. So I'm the first of any of my immediate family to have those things, because that's what my mother and grandmother wanted. And a lot of folks, that was my anchor when teaching. Kids, I'm from the hood. Listen, go in these streets and ask about me. Even my son sometimes will run into folks and go, Dad, how you know like all these criminals? Don't worry about that. But it is what it is, because yes, I was out on these streets. But what I learned was how to code switch. How to, when I'm in the streets, I'm one way, and when I'm somewhere else, it's what it is. Now that I'm married, that's the reason why we came with the name Making Marriage Cool Again. Marriage is the coolest position you could be in. Not only is it a fantastic business deal, if you can get it, it changes both of you.
It does.
Even the way you think. When you and your husband are really lockstep, we'll joke about, get out of my head. Like, I get ready to say something, my wife will finish it. My wife know what I'm thinking. I know what she's thinking. And sometimes I say, honey, you hungry? And she'll go, how you know? I go, all right, I knew. Come on, let's go. Whatever it is. And then another thing too is all the other facades disappear. You ain't worried about how certain things look. You ain't worried about trying to get the hottest this, the hottest that. You just making sure is the house good? Is my daughter good? Is my husband good? Is my wife good? Are we healthy? Oh, we healthy. We eating over here. But anyway, I'm just saying, but you don't worry about that either. Because again, you want to make sure, of course, you're medically fine, but there's just certain things. And it's funny because real country folk, when they see a woman swell up a little bit and they see a dude swell, they go, that's good living. And when you go to other countries, they celebrate big folks. In this country, we want to shame and make people feel bad, when in actually other countries, when they see a thick man or woman in a good marriage, oh, they celebrate that. Somehow we got that twisted. We got to bring that back. Marriage is cool. And if we would teach our kids that from the beginning, maybe some of the stuff they watch on TV wouldn't have as much effect that it does, but not enough saying it.
I mean, I love having you guys on my show. I really, really do. You guys are awesome guests.
Thank you.
I really love having you guys on here. To your comment about why Black people always kind of downplay or want to downplay a child that is intelligent. My aunt said, why are you acting white? Which
I was trying to be politically correct because I don't know your audience. I didn't want to offend nobody.
No, you this is not that show.
I don't want somebody writing a letter. I didn't really appreciate your racial comment because there was some people. I got you.
That's what I faced that when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So you speak too well.
Yeah.
Like,
Keith, why do you sound white?
Right.
Those 4 degrees have me sound like an educated Negro. I don't understand why you're upset, but okay, feel good. Whatever.
Yes. And even when I was younger, I would get that. I will never forget this one time. I was in junior high and my father, he is a pastor and he had an all white congregation. So in one summer I stayed with him And then I came back home to my all black neighborhood, and apparently some of the whiteness rubbed off on me. And
your
I was told, you talk like white people. Why do you sound like that? The way you pronounce it, I'm like, what? I had no idea. So I was like, I need to correct this. I need to change, but I could have just remained the way I was, not knowing, you know, that was ignorance, but and it was
and
an
you can
adult
still be pro-black too. People don't get that also. You're still pro-black. You still work for your people just because of the language. It's still there.
Yes. Yes. And that came from an adult. Matter of fact.
Yeah, it normally does because they're so stuck in the way that they think. Yeah.
The first time that I was addressed like that, it came from a teacher. Believe it or not. So
it was a teacher.
My educator, listen, my people, that's why I was hated in the classroom. Like, why are you always playing so much? Do you see my kids swinging from the chandeliers acting stupid? Do you see my kids not wanting to come to my class? You see them running down the hallway to get to my classroom. You see that, right? You also see that the discipline is well in place in my classroom. Why? Because I know how to speak to them. You don't. See, I can go back there and tell one of my kids, stop acting stupid, I'll punch you in the face. And he's not running and saying, Mr. B threatened him. You know what he's going to do? He's going to straighten up because he knows I'm not going to punch him in the face, but he knows exactly what I mean. There is a language that comes from understanding each other that may not be a language that anybody else understands. And just because you are a teacher doesn't mean you are a teacher. And I say it all the time.
Yes.
I'm a real teacher. I am that teacher that's in Ephesians when we talk about the fivefold ministry. I am a real teacher. I was built to do this. There's some people that just have a degree, so it's a job. I do this for real. God blessed me to do this.
Yes.
I agree.
Thank you. Looking kind of good though. We might have to end this interview. I'm just saying. No.
So I have a couple more comments came in. We have my husband said marriage is cool.
Yes, yes, what I'm talking about.
Because he said he didn't cheat. No, you did not cheat on me. But what I was talking about was the situations that you were going through when we first got together, when I first moved here. And when you first got together, what you were carrying, I picked up. And then it turned into, well, you need to get it together. So that's what I'm talking about, honey.
He had to clean that up. He said, I don't know nobody watching this thing. And I just, so he's like, hold on a second. I don't want to get a phone call now. How could you? I'm with you, hubby. I cleaned that up. I'm with that.
We got that. You guys were great. You guys were
good.
Thank you. So, and my husband also said, instead of when you were saying hide the booty, he said, instead play hide and go get it.
I see what somebody was doing back in them in formative years. Hide and go get it was the game. Don't get it twisted. If you don't know, you don't know. Hide and go get it was the game. See, that might be copywritten. That's why we had to come up with our own unique term. Because I don't want somebody going, I copyrighted that back in 1960. No, we good. No, so we good. Hide and go get it was a real game. And if y'all ain't from the hood and don't understand, you don't understand.
Oh my Lord, he talks about it all the time. Well, not all the time.
There you go.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing your story with us. I mean, you were awesome. And I would love to have you guys on here again. And I think my audience would like to see you guys again also. And I want to make a couple announcements. I didn't make them in the beginning, but I hope you guys share this episode. You like it, comment, you subscribe to the channel. Also go to my website, it's ashleyj.com, so that you can get your show merchandise. This is actually the shirt I got on right now. It's Ashley J shirt, but it's Ashley J's presents the Love Experience show. So go get your products, your apparel, and wear it the next time we have an episode. Also, October 8th through the 10th, 2021, I am having a couples getaway here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I would love for you guys all to come and attend. If you're a couple, this is for you. The theme this year is commitment. So I need you guys to sign up, and I think I have the link in the description. If I don't, I will put it in the description for you. please sign up for the couples getaway. It's going to be a great time. I'm just letting y'all know. We're going to have fun, and there's going to be a lot of good things you're going to learn about. Okay. So, if you would like to be a guest on It's Ashley J's The Love Experience Show, please let me know. Put a comment in the comment section or send me an email, DM, however, I answer to it all. So let me know that you would like to be part of the Love Experience Show. And I only got one question left. What is your love experience? I will chat with you guys